Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft, and I'm mocking, give you my views, thoughts, and opinions. And we got a two-rounder today, so I'm very curious to see if there's names maybe I haven't looked at yet in the second round. Can't wait. But this comes courtesy of the Draft Wire, and it's by Kurt Popejoy. That's a name. Well, let's go ahead and get into this sucker. The Chicago Bears take Marvin Harrison Jr. Again, the world, or at least the offseason, is the Bears' oyster. How will they shuck it? Everyone's split on this. They could go one way, try to build around Caleb Williams, Justin Fields, or they could draft Caleb Williams, or maybe Drake May. Maybe they could go a different approach altogether. It's all going to be very fascinating. It's all going to be very interesting. But in this mock, they go Marvin Harrison Jr., which means at pick two. And then we'll go 2-3. Oh my gosh! The Arizona Cardinals take Drake May. Okay, for one, at least the organization's been very adamant that Kyler Murray is the guy. Two, to get off of Kyler Murray's contract, it's going to be tough. You're really going to be reliant on your trade partner to take on a ton of the cap. Is it out of the realm of possibility? Absolutely not. Do I think it's likely? Probably not. But already, spice. I like it. Sugar, spice, everything nice. All right, pick three. Caleb Williams going to the Washington Commanders. The Sam Howell experiment, it's over. Jacoby Brissett's going to start this week. So they're going quarterback. And especially with the new coaching staff in tow. I think the Patriots are next. They're going to go with Jaden Daniels. So they're going to go ahead, kind of force quarterback 3, though Jaden Daniels is probably, when I put back together my big board, he'll probably be in like the 11 to 15 area. The dude is extremely athletic. We've seen the ability to improvise. I'll talk about some of the problems I might have with Jaden Daniels in my quarterback rankings for the end of the season. That'll come in the middle of January once we know for sure who's coming out and who's staying put. But they take him at 4. And I mean, hey, we know Bailey Zappi probably ain't the guy, for sure. Stinking mac and cheese ain't it. Which now puts the Giants in a very interesting scenario where they take Malik Neighbors. I'm cool with this. Malik Neighbors is going ahead of the 2 tackles. I think is fair. Malik Neighbors is very good. There might not be a more explosive receiver in this draft class or in all of college football. Like, he is that good. I mean, we'd be talking about him as number 1 if a Marvin Harrison didn't exist in this draft class. But the Giants go with that. I guess gonna run it back with Daniel Jones. I mean, we still got a second round to this, so I don't even know if that's for sure. We got the LA Chargers going Brock Bowers. This is a very popular pick right now. I think there's going to be a lot of cap shedding when it comes to the new regime for the Chargers. And I think Gerald Everett will probably be a part of that, which means, hey, bring in some more pass catchers for your quarterback, Brock Bowers. I know going 6 at tight end. They're going tight end at 6. It's a little rich, but Brock Bowers is that good. He just is. All right. At pick 7, I imagine, because I want to say this is the Jets, which I imagine it's tackle. No, it's the Titans, and it's tackle regardless. This is kind of the obvious pick right now for the Titans. The offensive line needs help, and you're going to do that, then Joe Alt kind of would be a really good answer. Maybe you attack receiver at pick with their second round pick. Keep in mind they don't have a third currently. They could actually attack a variety of things at pick I think it's currently like 40 or something, maybe 39. Before we get to pick 8, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you didn't know so. Go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below, where we had that nice, beautiful, intimate football discourse. Pick 8, Drazan Newton. Ooh, going to the interior. I really do think the Bears, though, they took Zach Pickens. They've seen a good stuff from Irvin Dexter, and I'm not aware of what what Justin Jones' contract looks like. I think it's Justin Jones, right? Yeah. So they could look to go edge someone to pair up with a Montez Sweat. I think that's more likely, but in this case, they're going with Drazan Newton, and I don't mind it. Drazan's kind of sick nasty, so they go defense. I think defense is the call, though, for the Bears with that 8th overall pick. Olu Fashanu going to the Jets. Got to protect Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers. And that offensive line right now ain't up to snuff. I know they're not healthy, but also they could definitely be a lot better. They definitely can. Liatu Latu going to the Falcons. Yeah, if you don't like quarterback 4, which that's fair here at 10, go with an edge. I think edge is kind of the obvious if they don't go quarterback. Liatu Latu, I think, is a top 10 talent. It's just he's got that big red flag when it comes to his neck that forced him to medically retire at Washington. Oh, Talanisa Fuaga going to the Saints. Let's read what they got here. Fuaga is a fast climber and easily the third best tackle in this draft. I don't know, easily is the word I would use. And is a great fit for the Saints, except for, you'd be pushing him on the right side. That might be irrelevant again. I don't know if he's in that tier of guys that I think can move to both sides. Again, Olu and Alt, I have no problem with that. But then you start getting outside of these top 15 prospects, especially when it comes to tackle position, you become less sure if they can make that move to the opposite side of the offensive line, which that would be the case for Fuaga, because they got Ryan Ramczyk. He'd have to play left tackle, which means you're giving up on Trevor Pennant to a degree. Maybe you play him at guard, but that's a good thing also about Fuaga. They could also play guard. The Green Bay Packers, Kool-Aid McKinstry, again, makes all the sense in the world if they want to go with corner. They haven't been healthy there. Add more talent, add more competition, add more depth. Bo Nix, okay, he's going to the Raiders in this scenario. I think it's going to be important to see who the offensive play caller is for the Raiders. I think Antonio Pierce really has locked up the job at this point. So you're probably going to have Patrick Graham as the DC there too. And I am curious who will be the OC. Depending on that, could radically change this pick or what they're looking for in a quarterback. Bo Nix is a guy that'll very good at processing the field. He will keep you away from negative plays and turnovers. As well as he's got a good arm. He can make all the throws, in my opinion, and the good athletic skill set that he can extend the play if need be. I'm a big fan of Bo Nix, so Raiders go with him here. Denver Broncos go with Chop Robinson. They want to get more pass rush. I think that's all right. Denver's kind of a tough one to speculate right now. I think the word is Russell Wilson will sit the last 2 games of the season, which is wild because they're technically still in playoff contention, but they're doing that so he doesn't get hurt, because it probably means they're going to release him at the end of the year. They will have to eat a big chunk of dead cap, but as long as he doesn't get hurt, some of that won't be guaranteed. So it's still a big dead money hit, but less so, which kind of puts Denver in the quarterback market. So very interesting what Denver may do with this pick. or this offseason. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. Minnesota Vikings take Nate Wiggins. Guess they didn't want to go with quarterback 5. That's all right. They go corner, I think edge. You still got Verse and Turner on the board. And I mean, all their pass rushers are free agents. I imagine they try to bring Danielle Hunter back, or at the very least DJ Wonham. But you definitely want to add to that. So I would have gone edge in this scenario. But Nate Wiggins is nice. I mean, after failing with Andrew Booth, do you really want to go back to the Clemson? Well, I know, helmet scouted, but still, yeah, the wound is still open. Roma Dunze, I forgot he was still on the board. He's going here for the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals took a quarterback. This is wild. A wild turn of events. So they're moving on from Kyler Murray, which in that case, I would have liked to see a trade because I definitely think a first rounder would be involved. So they might be having 3 picks in the first round, but just kind of radically changing the offense with Drake May and now Roma Dunze. Oh, kind of scary. Kind of like it. Cooper Jean going to the Steelers. Look at that. They say defensive back right here. So take notice of that. They're not viewing him as just a corner, maybe someone that could play safety and in the slot. So he gives versatility to that secondary, which I'm sure they would love that. I think tackle's also a viable option as Latham and Mims still on the board here. Latham, matter of fact, goes with this next pick to Cincinnati. There we go. I want to say KC. It's because I got Burrowhead stuck in my mind. But yeah, no, Jonah Williams needs to replace. I mean, he's a free agent anyway. Very average tackle as it is. So finding an upgrade there would definitely be very nice. Tampa Bay Buccaroonies, they go with Jared Verse. They need more pass rush. I mean, Yaya Diaby came out, had a good game, but hey, keep adding guys there until you get it right. Yeah, this is great value for Verse as well. I think they're likely to re-sign Baker Mayfield. So, yeah, no, good pick. Good pick. Real quick shout out to today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. If you like weekly fantasy, like weekly best ball or higher and lower on player props, that's one of my favorites. Then check out Underdog Fantasy. They don't just do the NFL, they do all kinds of sports, even esports. Really fun. When you use promo code Broshmo, when you sign up, they will match that first deposit up to $100 dues. They, matter of fact, have a lot of promos going on right now with the playoff season approaching for the NFL. But as always, please bet responsibly, bet within your means, and if you do sign up, use promo code Broshmo. Colts go with Brian Thomas. Ooh, I don't mind them going for another receiver. We just saw this past weekend that without Michael Pittman, this offense couldn't really do much of anything. So adding Brian Thomas to the mix, because Michael Pittman is a free agent, by the way. So adding Brian Thomas to the mix, even if they bring back Michael Pittman, I think is huge. They got Joshua Downs there to play in the slot, and you're starting to build a very nice wide receiver core. Seattle Seahawks go with Dallas Turner. Not opposed to this one either. Boye Mafe is kind of having a breakout year, but outside of that, they don't really have a true starter next to him. Like, again, Derek Hall, haven't seen much from him this year. They brought in Frank Clark. Come on, that's just kind of a bridge option. Darrell Taylor is more of a rotation player, so I get that. I mean, the value is really good here for Dallas Turner. Jacksonville Jaguars go with Terrion Arnold. I don't mind this. Arnold could start immediately in the slot, and eventually be the guy, because I think Darius Williams has only one more year left on his contract. Could be the next guy up to pair up with Tyson Campbell. Big fan of Arnold, man. Really am. The Rams go with Leonard Taylor. I disagree with this one a bit. Kobe Turner has really emerged for the Rams next to Aaron Donald. If anything, I'd probably want to go with edge. Granted, we just saw edge talent come off the board. I'd be willing to take a shot on Amarius Mims at left tackle. And, I mean, I think we still have some viable corners on the board, right? No, I think Kool-Aid's gone. Is Kool-Aid gone? Yeah, Kool-Aid's gone. He's gone. He went to the, not the Broncos, but where did he go? He went right here. Oh, that's right, the Packers. So yeah, you might be saying it's a bit of a stretch at corner. Probably be going like a Mari Lassiter. But I mean, at the back end of the first round, I think you're willing to take whoever the next guy up is, whether it's Lassiter, whether it's Quinion Mitchell, Denzel Burke. I think I'd rather do one of those. I'd even yeah, that's where I want to go. Devontae Walker, I haven't seen him in a first round mock, and I kind of like it. I don't mind it. Listen, this tier 3 of wide receiver is going to be shuffled all kinds of ways for people just because the class is that good. And he very much fits what they're going to be losing in Gabe Davis and what they're hoping to get in terms of more of a game-to-game consistency. Big, fast, vertical threat. No Keon Coleman yet, by the way. Troy Franklin going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, we know they need to go receiver. Franklin, very nice option there. Now I'm very curious where Keon Coleman may go, because the dude's a first rounder. Enos Rakestraw is kind of been a hot riser this season. I don't know if he's right now day 1 hype, but he's definitely in the day 2 mix. If you haven't heard of him, a very good off-zone coverage corner. Who has traits just that can be like a press man guy. It's just he was never really asked to do that there at Mizzou. Watch out for him and Chris Abrams-Drain, his teammate, at the Senior Bowl. That's going to be fun. But Dallas going with a corner here is fairly interesting. Is it like the best value on the board? Because, I mean, they got Bland. Bland can play inside and out. Diggs will be back healthy. Gilmore's still got another year if they want to retain him. He could be a casualty, but, I mean, he's played really well. I think he's worth holding on to. So, a little interesting. A.D. Mitchell going to the Texans. Did I just miss Keon Coleman? I feel like I just missed Keon Coleman. Yeah, no, I mean, you get a big, tall guy, nice, smooth route runner when he's in the zone that just can create the big play. I think he's definitely another one of those guys in the first round mix at wide receiver. Mari Lassiter going to the Lions. Lions could definitely use another corner there on the outside next to Cam Sutton. And Lassiter, I think, would be a good fit for Aaron Glenn in that secondary. Again, you could also make the case for this is where like the edge talent starts to come off the board. Marius Mims going to the Dolphins. I don't mind this one bit. I mean, the value's there. Have him be work behind Terrion Arnold. Terrion Armstead. There we go. To be like the left tackle of the future. You're working with a guy that has a ton of tools. Ton of them. Eagles take Cameron Kitchens. I think I'd more want to go for a corner. I think that's where a lot of... I mean, then again, man, Blankenship got toasted this past weekend, unfortunately. But I think... secondary, I think, is probably the most likely pick for the Eagles. just with how bad the coverage, the pass coverage has been this season. We got Graham Barton going to the Niners. We saw the Niners kind of be shorthanded this past weekend when it comes to the offensive line. You get a guy that's played left tackle majority of his career, but was recruited as a guard, played center his freshman season. So it gives you all kinds of types of versatility, good movement skills, great for a wide zone blocking scheme. Emeka Buka going to the Ravens. They get a nice route runner, but I think this is just 1 to 2 receivers too many in the first round. Just look at this beautiful image. There we go. And the Ravens, I think the Ravens could be a landing spot for a receiver, but I think at this point, maybe you take up Braylon Trice if they don't bring back Clowney or, oh, golly, Clowney and Kyle Van Noy. You can make a case for interior on the defensive line with Justin Matabuke. Will they be able to sign him? You can talk about cornerback 2 spot. All right, let's run through this second round, and more so, I'm really just trying to look for names that I might just not have looked at yet. I'm kind of curious. So we got Ladd McConkey going at 33. I think there's just too many receivers too early. I think if anything, the incredible depth of the wide receiver position of the draft will just kind of push guys a little further down the board. But very interesting. You got Cardinals taking Fatanu. Imagine he's playing guard. He lists him as tackle here, so I don't know. Maybe that's your left tackle of the future. I don't love it for the Cardinals. This has been a very interesting draft for the Cardinals. Braylon Trice going to the Commanders. Obviously, since they traded Chase Young and Montez Sweat, they should go edge. There is Keon Coleman. Wow, what a fall! Like, I don't think he falls out of the first round. I don't think all these other receivers go ahead of him. I think that's just a little too wild, but this would be a great get for the Patriots. Tyler Nubin going to the Giants at safety. Is safety really a pick that Giants would make? Isn't like Pinnock playing really well for them? And they also got McKinley. You got Jonathan Brooks. I imagine going to the Chargers. I imagine he comes back for the ACL. I really do think he comes back, but he can enter the class. We'll see. Xavier Leggett going to the Titans. I kind of talked about receiver when I was talking about the Titans taking, Olu Fashanu. The Titans potentially going receiver here. You got Patrick Paul going to the Commanders. There's their tackle of the future. Yeah, because they drafted a quarterback. Jordan Morgan, I'm very high on. He's going to the Packers here. You got Michael Penix going to the Falcons, so they do go with one of those options. Yo, Jermaine Burton's starting to get a lot of love, and I love it. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Trey Benson going to the Packers. You got Quinion Mitchell going to the Raiders at 45. New Orleans going J.J. McCarthy, so we see another quarterback come off the board. Oh, wow, Shadur Sanders. Just included him in here. Listen, I don't think he's coming out. Deion's dad doesn't think he's coming out either. But yeah, the Vikings are in a very, very interesting situation when it comes to this draft and Kirk Cousins and whatnot. The first linebacker comes off the board, and Edgerrin Cooper. It'd be an interesting pickup for the Texans. You know, D'Amico Ryans probably wants to find that rangy linebacker with just good length. Someone similar to Fred Warner. Jackson Powers Johnson going to the Steelers here. So Mason Cole kind of having a down year after having a good year last year for the Steelers. Chris Jenkins going to the Bengals. Quinn Ewers. Okay, now all these quarterbacks. Listen, unless Ewers just lights it up in the playoffs, I'm pretty confident he's coming back. Christian Haynes going to the Giants. That's a really good pick. Here's JT Tuimoloau to the Jaguars. Kalen Bullock to the Rams. Kalen Keene, I think this is probably about his range now. Again, just not an ideal year, but again, his 2022 was pretty solid. You got Tyler Guyton going to the Chiefs. Wanya Morris right now is kind of showing you what he's got. I don't know, man. Maybe they feel comfortable enough with him at left tackle. Moving forward, we'll find out during the playoffs. Xavier Worthy going to the Browns. Blake Corum, by the way, going to the Cowboys. Josh Newton, the Lions. I don't know why the Dolphins would take Tavion Sanders, but they do. Jeremiah Trotter going to the Eagles. Denzel Burke going to the Niners. I like that landed spot. And then DJ James going to the Ravens. Like, straight up, man, the dude is, I just think he's too undersized. Like, I get maybe a lot of people like him, but like in the first 2 rounds, I just don't think that's it. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think of this 2-round mock. Again, I kind of just highlighted the players in round 2. That was kind of what I was more interested about. See if there was any names that kind of surprised me, shocked me. A lot of receivers and a lot of quarterbacks. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, easy, my friends. Later.